Today I fucked up by literally holding my bladder and breaking my penis. This actually just happened and I'm still kinda confused myself. I woke up from like a wet dream of sorts and had to take a number 2, poop. Because of the dream, the little guy was still excited and I couldn't aim it down into the toilet. So I did what anyone would do in my situation. I pinched the tip so I could let a couple turds fall without pissing all over the floor. All is going good until the pressure builds too high. Now I'm desperately trying to aim it down into the toilet, turd still half sticking out of my ass. But I never quite get it in and boom. Something snapped. I honestly don't know, but all the pee came rushing out and it shot all over the walls and floor, but a stream of blood came out right alongside it. And the pain. Jesus Christ. The pain is the only thing that got the lil dude to settle down. So now I'm finishing my number 2 with blood dripping from my penis and I don't know what the exact cause is. Kinda scared tbh. Too long didn't read. Tried to hold my bladder via my hand. Bladder broke through with a vengeance and tore something along the way. Edit, the only reason I haven't gone to the doctor yet is because I just turned 26 and was kicked off my mom's health insurance. And I have been procrastinating signing up for my own. So a doctor's visit might cost me an arm and a leg right now. And a dick, as people have informed me of below. Second edit. I appreciate the helpful responses. I wish the other commenters would stop making me laugh though. Only makes the pain worse. Last edit, I went to sleep hoping all would be good when I awoke. And this is how my bed cover looked when I just woke up. NSFW. No nudity, but it is blood that came from a dick, so that's that. And please don't judge me for not having sheets on the bed. I was in too much pain to make my bed up before I laid down and those shits must have slipped off. Americans, we have the best healthcare in the world. Also Americans, my dick exploded, but I'm not going to the hospital because I can't afford it. You exploded your penis at the pressure of your bladder because you physically tried to hold it shut. This should not be possible. I know, man, this shit fucking hurts. Never hold your penis shut, dude. Trouble aiming means you sit down and hold it in the bowl so you don't pee on the wall, lol. Hold on. You don't know the actual size of it. Maybe it's so big he would have shit all over it? Shrugs /. You have to ask yourself, is saving your dick worth an arm and a leg? Many men would be torn by that decision. He's got 2 arms and 2 legs. One is expendable. You only have 1 dick. Go to the hospital now! Exclamation mark. Probably burst a blood vessel. Sounds like you'll be okay. I would go to a hospital though. Googled it and it's kinda spot on. Blunt trauma during an erection. Didn't see if it requires surgery to repair though. Today I fucked up when I willing drank fermented camel milk in Mongolia. Yesterday I finally got the chance to tell my story in r/abrupt chaos and it was recommend I share it here. Back in 2016, I drank fermented camel milk because some lovely camel farmers offered it. Was with a few volunteers to help the infrastructure of a small Mongolian community hundreds of miles away from a town or city. They were serving tea as well as camel milk in the afternoon with lots of wonderful homemade bread. They passed me a bowl and I took a sip. Looking back, this is where I fucked up. Tasted like rotten yogurt. It just made me instantly feel queasy. But I swallowed it, thanked them and tried to move on. Later that night, a girl that tried the milk shat the bed. I woke up to her cleaning. I was delirious and sick as well but wasn't aware how bad I was yet. Then the need to shit hit me. Could tell I was about shit my soul out, so I ran out the Mongolian nomadic home, and ran to the giant hole in the ground that was the toilet. To paint a picture, this toilet was just a big ol' hole full of shit, piss and blood with 2 wooden boards over it for balance. It had a short mud wall around the hole and no roof. You could reach the sides of the wall when balancing on the wooden boards. I proceeded to release the demons pent up inside me. But it didn't end there. I began to throw up. Apparently the locals call this the double dragon because it is quite common for Western volunteers to not adjust well to their food. I was now emptying my body on both sides and holding onto the mud brick wall for dear life. It didn't end there. Other people were also very sick, but you see there were only 2 toilets. I got one and another dude got another. Everyone else that got the double dragons just had to run out into a field and drop their pants. One girl who didn't get sick for some reason was going around trying to help people, passing out hair ties and such. I'm holding onto the walls, throwing up, shitting a storm and just praying for my life to end, but I think to myself, at least I got the toilet right. Well, when I feel something crawl over one of my hands, I begin to think otherwise. It's pitch black outside and I can't see anything. Called to the girl helping to bring a flashlight real quick so I can see what just crawled over my hand. I honestly didn't know what it was. Well, she comes over and shines the light on the mud walls and I'm greeted with the sight of at least a dozen large brown spiders scuttling in and out of the cracks of the wall. At this point I want to cry. I start hugging myself because the walls are literally crawling with spiders. But the double dragons didn't care. It didn't care that there were spiders and I knew couldn't hold my balance at this rate. I knew I would fall in if I didn't hold on to something. Well, the girl that came over to shine her light knew this. Just as she shined her light on me like an angel, she reached her hand out to me like an angel too. She grasped my hand and held me in place until I was done. I have never felt so close with another human being since. I have never been the same since this incident. A silver lining to this story is that I am no longer afraid of shitting in public restrooms. I used to be one of the girls that was nervous to poop in public. Now I literally could not give a shit. I don't care if it's a porta potty or squatty. Anything is better than big spiders you don't recognize. Here are some pics of what the area looked like. Obviously don't have any pics from the night as I was preoccupied, but these are pics of the infamous toilets in this story. Safe for work. Too long didn't read. I drank fermented camel milk and experienced the double dragons of food poisoning that led me to hover over a pit of shit crawling with spiders. I was expecting the FU to be you falling into the toilet hole. Glad it wasn't that bad, especially after the spiders on the walls X_X. My grandpa used to talk about people dying in toilet holes during the Great Leap Forward. Didn't know how to swim, fell into hole filled with piss and shit at night because you can't see shit, literally, and then drown in the village's poo and pee. I got something similar my first night in Kuwait in 2008. It's at the DIFAC dining facility. It was 2 AM and I was stuck in a portable shitter building. I couldn't reach the window. I couldn't reach the door. There was a stack of water but I couldn't reach it. This was in July. In Kuwait, the temp outside was still 110 degrees. Inside this stuffy prefab hut it had to be 150 degrees. I just sat there cramping like I was giving birth and pissing lava out of my ass nearly continuously. It felt like hours. I started screaming hoping someone would hear me. I thought that my wife was going to be notified of my death. I just hoped my bodies made it sound heroic. The sweat was pouring off my body in rivers. It was hell. Someone else finally needed the shitter and entered. The breeze was so heavily I almost didn't notice their dry heaves. They propped the door open for me and rolled a few water bottles my way. They also stayed outside till I was done smoking, to make sure I didn't die. We became good friends that deployment. I wasn't a smoker yet, but after I finished, I smoked a few cigs. You need to after having your arsehole abused in that fashion. I swear my normally tight body armor was loose after that. I never ate at that chow hall again. I only ate MREs till we got to Iraq. I felt your pain in your story. Your ass saw more combat than the actual deployment. Wow. I love a good poo story to help get me to sleep. Edit, I probably shouldn't have said that. Now I've seen at least 2 additional poo stories on my scroll. Looks like I won't be getting to sleep now. Though, at least you had a toilet. I had an empty field when I was in Turkmenistan. Then came the spiders part. NVM. Today I fucked up by taking out the trash on mobile, English not my first LG, etc. This is a double FU, to be fair. I, 23F, depend on my physical ability quite a bit. I go everywhere by bicycle, I am a long distance runner and I teach dance and fitness as a secondary job. Rewind 6 weeks. On the way to university, bike, of course, I flew off it with incredible grace and broke my ankle. So much for running, dancing, cycling, everything. Doc put a cast on me and said, no less than 2 months. Today, it has been 6 weeks. I have been living peacefully, recovery going great. I am very able to move around and do most things, excited to get my cast off soon enough. One thing has been very hard, though, and that is taking out the trash. I live on the 2nd floor and carrying the bag with the crutches just demands another hand. Most of you probably suspect where this is going. Please, do laugh. Well, luckily, as I stand at the top of the stairs, my neighbor is coming outside. Need a hand? He asks, and I say the dumbest thing in my life, no thanks, I'll be fine. You know how cartoon characters only fall when they look down? Yes. Well, that was probably what my neighbor saw next. As I descend graciously, crutches rattling, trash scattering all over the stairs. Flash forward to the hospital. Yes, I broke the ankle again. I also broke the bone above it and 2 ribs. You are allowed to laugh. I can't, it hurts. Too long didn't read. Don't take out the trash if your bones are broken. Edit. Whoa, thanks for the awards and well wishes. In this time of great need on your part, I will bestow upon you words of wisdom proffered throughout the ages. Sucks to be you. Nonetheless, and despite it really be sucking to be you at the moment, at least you learned something. Accept help when offered and especially when needed, such is currently, with even more broken bones, and was your case, with fewer broken bones. It's always okay to do so, never forget. I wish you a speedy recovery, and hope you're back on your feet in no time. Well, at least you learnt something. Get well soon. That's not what they meant by break a leg while preforming for your neighbor. Curious to know what made you decline his help when it was abundantly clear that you did, in fact, need help. Maybe they didn't want to be a burden, pride, or simply are dumb like me and try to do everything on their own lol. I broke my wrist, 3 ribs and dislocated my hip last year. Motorbike, have a permanent metal plate in my wrist now, 2 surgeries, but oh my, the ribs. Ribs are the worst. Get well soon.